Working on a 2013 Ford Edge with the 2.0 liter 4-cylinder turbo, and we've got a P2195 code that's intermittent. Comes and goes. So right now we're at a cold start. It hasn't been started since a couple days ago. So what should happen, we'll start it up. The RPMs will be read off the computer before the O2 sensors kick in, and it starts to read off that. Then we should have more of a rough idle. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so it's been running for a few minutes, and you can see the tach moving a little bit, but you can probably hear the motor if we go and listen to it. I've got my launch tool with a couple of PIDs pulled up, not all of them, looking for just anything immediate, so I can check the RPMs moving back and forth, making sure the O2 sensors are present. Check my fuel injectors, if there's anything immediate telling me that. Those all look fine. Fuel trims, long-term fuel trim, short-term fuel trim, they all look, within spec as far as that's concerned. So it's not a large vacuum leak, it seems, or we should have a lot larger numbers, but it seems like something's going on we need to find. And you also see the engine light is not currently on. Like I said, it's intermittent. So our engine RPMs bouncing around a little bit. You can hear it surging every now and again. Just wanted to show the tach and how it's jumping around, and you can feel it more in the car when it starts fluctuating like that. So if this car is cold or warm, it does the same thing. It does sporadic surging, so that part's irrelevant. So it is intermittent as far as, I guess, the air-fuel ratio that the O2 sensor is picking up. So before we can dim the O2 sensor, which is why I check fuel trims and things like that, let's look for any vacuum leaks, because the 2195 is a lean code, so there's just detecting too much oxygen over the air-fuel ratio mixture. So the first simple things to do is just go through and do a visual check to make sure there's nothing that is obvious as a sign of a leak. Just feeling around, and when you had the car running, you would be listening for any sort of whistling noise that would help identify potentially where it's coming from. You can also, use like a carb cleaner or something like that to spray around and see if you detect any noises. But you just want to make sure everything's good and tight, that you don't see anything specifically obvious that there's a crack or anything like that. Okay, so since I have a smoke machine, I'm going to use it and save myself some time. So I'm just going to go ahead and disconnect the intake hose there, and then we'll run the piping through there. Just needs a little attention, and so you can take this little expander guy. This one's got a twisty knob valve. Some of them you just push, and you just pump it up like you're taking your blood pressure, right? But you want it to fill that cavity to where it doesn't move. I may need to pull that back. Okay, so I've got that situated in there. And then this is our air hose. So we turn on the machine, but we got to connect it with the battery terminals first. So you connect your negative and your positive, and then the machine kicks on, and then this button here should start to get the smoke rolling. It's coming out now, so then we just push it into that hose to go into the intake. So we've got full smoke coming through here into the intake hose. So now we just want to find if there's any leaks anywhere. Right, so you're checking for leaks out of the intake, underneath where the fuel injectors go, if they'll come out of there. Any of these vent tubes here, any of these vacuum lines through here. It's looking for any sign of smoke coming through, which should be an obvious sign of a leak being detected. I'm gonna give this a minute. Alright, well, I'm not seeing anything obvious yet, but we've also got a turbo, so let's go underneath. Okay, so I've got to catch you up here. I lost my footage of what's up. So after the exhaust leak that you can see through the inlet duct down there with the smoke test, I had to order a new part up here. I'll show you this old one, what I found from when it was leaking out of, I think, this area right here. When you get into it, it's hard to tell, but if you run your finger through here, I can feel like right here, I feel like it's oval shaped because the depth of this seal is very shallow here, but it feels oval. So I think it got out of round at some point and it wouldn't seal any longer that way. So there's the replacement item. Okay, not sure where I left off here. So you had to take off this tubing here, and then to remove this, some little knobs down here, you just push them in and push it up and pull it up like that, and then that comes off. And then this tube back here, and here, you squeeze in on these tabs, and then you can pull those pipes off. And then you can leave this turbo pipe on here if you want, or you can take it off from here and down below, give yourself some more room. So this pipe, it's a two-piece. This rubber comes off. So you can see the oil that's on there for one thing, but I did replace the turbo previously, so that should help with that. See, it's kind of misshapen in nature, but this hose clamp right there, this original one took a 5/16, and the new one I just got is a 7 mil on the new one. So this one doesn't fit, but the new one has a 7 mil. So back here, you just need to unclip. Come on, there we go. Unclip that, and then again here, you've got the little clips at the bottom. Squeeze together, pop that up, and pull this apart, and then you've got a 5/16 here, and then I think that's maybe a 10 mil down here, but it just came off with that top piece on it. It's not a big deal. Put that back together. So it's back to running. So that seemed to do the trick on this one. So I'd say the smoke machines is a good test for anyone who wants to find their vacuum leaks. Hope it helped you out. Thanks.